Well, it's
we live, baby.
It's actually showing a green check mark on Instagram. I wonder if it's
Jesse.
there.
Jesse in the chat. What's up, baby?
Austin shows up.
Got lost on the way here and accidentally shit in the back of the toilet. Let's go.
Dude, we're off to a fucking stellar start. Oh, look, they're rolling in. 9 viewers already. We're chilling.
Austin's here, baby.
Hey, Austin, that group chat is not changing though, dude. This nothing changes. That is the name of the chat.
Austin has gained his elite membership back. All right. Are we live on Instagram? Is anybody watching on Instagram? Hey, everybody in the chat, check in. If you're in here, say what's up. Type something. Say hello. We encourage participation.
I'm trying to see if we're live anywhere else. We're going to find out.
I'm trying to see if we're live on Instagram.
This is fun. Sorry, Nick. Nick's sitting here and we're fucking over here trying to figure out.
I'm here for it, man. I'm getting stoked.
Nick Hein, everyone. Nick
Hein.
Dude.
People in here. Fucking Charlie showing up. Ken's in here.
You feel me?
Gorman's in the house. Dude. Gorman. Somebody named Dylan writing penis. We love this. This is fantastic. We're gonna put that on there. Dylan Goodwin, dude. That'll
my boy. Wait, let's see.
That'll get you some clout up in here, dude. We start talking about dicks, man. We get it. You're gonna get an instant screen time. Screen time.
Yelling penis in public is always going to be funny.
It always will, dude. It always will. It's now like a super funny thing because I'll like shower with my son and he'll like he's come to the realization, like, even though he's like almost 2, that we both have dongs. So it's hilarious, dude. Like, I'll catch him just like standing there and he'll just be like staring and I'm like, yeah, dude, that's a wiener and it's way bigger than yours, you little fucker.
Charlie Rock.
Dude.
Yeah, when I was younger, I always pee outside, but I'd pee outside in front of my dog, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that's what alpha piss smells like." You see that, son? That's what a fucking. There's my wife back there. Say what's up, wife. Oh God.
Oh shit.
Don't worry, we're live. There's only 2,000 people in here.
I was just trying to ring the bells.
That's a riot,
dude. That's fantastic.
Penis. Hell yeah, Ken.
Ken, good to see you in here, man.
Oh,
Merwis Haydar.
Weiss in the building. I hope somebody brought some rice, baby. Rice for Weiss.
Oh, dude, we're getting canceled.
You got one job. All right. Wow. Well, all right.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for showing up, dude.
Again, everybody in here, please say what's up. Crowd participation is encouraged. Dick and fart jokes encouraged. Pull up.
Man, we're gonna have a good episode this week. As you can see, there's another person in the room for all our audio listeners. We'll get into that here shortly. We're gonna fire off here real soon.
I'm gonna cut all this in the audio one anyway. So.
Yeah. But it's gonna be an awesome time. So stick around, get involved with the conversation. Let us know what you think. And have a good time on this Thursday.
And our buddy Nick Hein, with the weight of the world on his shoulders, will be revealing the secret, the key to happiness.
It's your boy.
Dude.
We can do it. Let's talk about
it. Better have 3 pounds of rice for Weiss. Weiss says there's never enough, Ken.
Dude.
We might have to get into that story. Bailey in the building. What's up, girl?
Dude.
Everybody say what's up. If you're in the chat, say what's up.
People showing up, dude. People showing up.
And like the video and stuff. So all these people are from YouTube. I don't know if Facebook's working.
Well, we'll have to tighten it up.
It says we are.
We live.
Hit that button if you're a rude dude.
Oh, dude, Jake showing up, and it's Jake Burgess for us.
Jake and we will rake.
All Jake and we will rake, dude. We are live. We are live. Oh shit! Sorry, Hen.
You and I are fighting to hit that like button if you're a real dude. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, dude, that's actually a real fact. Like, if you
Cock
haven't,
balls.
if you haven't, if you haven't hit the subscribe button on YouTube right now, if you're
Mhm.
watching on YouTube, can you do us a solid and just
Yeah.
hit that right now? I
You
know that's
betcha.
annoying as fuck.
You betcha.
But you would do us a solid in getting this channel out because we want to do more of this shit. All right, Hen, let's fire this bitch off.
I don't fucking see that I'm live on Facebook, but you know, maybe I am. It says we aren't here. So anyway, long titty, no self control, having ass bitch.
Dude.
All right, let's set it off on that. Welcome back to the Rude Dude Podcast, the show that puts some pep in your step, takes some weight off your plate, and reminds you that haters are going to hate, but you are loved. I am your host, Henny Lokes, the Lobster, with my pal, my buddy, my guy, Cameron, the Cree Davis, and our very, very special guest, Nick Nitty Baseface and Space Hein. How are you there, Cam?
Well, you know what, man? I'm doing well. I rolled out of bed with crust in my eyes today, and I have a fucking paragraph long sentence from Henry. Hey, man, probably should have run this by you today, but we're going live. I talked to Nitty. Nitty's down, and we're going to be doing it. So I just wanted to let you know that I already scheduled it all the way, and we figured it out, and it's happening. So your input means
It's
absolutely
on Facebook,
nothing.
It's on Instagram.
It's
Here's
on.
the link.
Everybody's already invited, so good morning. And so I was like, okay, we're doing that, which I'm totally fine with, dude. We actually have more people in here, but I'm doing well, man. It's a scintillating 68 degrees out here, dude. It feels like a March
Yeah,
fucking
fuck
day,
you, pal.
dude. Not a cloud in the sky. I took my shirt off earlier. It's fantastic, dude. It's fantastic. How are you doing? You freezing your dick off out there?
I am. It's like 22 degrees today. What do we got in San Francisco there, Nick? How are you, buddy?
Yeah, hey, doing fantastic. Thanks so much for having me on, you fellers. Life's good living in the city. It's probably around the 68. About the the home responsible home AC temperature settings. 68, 67, 68.
Year round.
Yeah.
68, 70, and it's non-negotiable, dude. And that's winter and that's summer. Like it just stays at that temperature all the time.
Is that your number? Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
It's 68 to 70. I will nudge if I must, and I pay an exorbitant amount in my SMUD and PG&E bill. But dude, I can't have it, dude, because growing up with my fucking family and my dad, dude, like it was freezing balls or it was hot as shit in that house, and I vowed that I would never live like that, dude.
Yeah.
Tori pulling up in the chat. What's up, girl?
Tori, what's up? Thanks for coming through.
All right, everybody, drop your optimal temperature for the thermometer. What's that thing called? Thermostat in your house.
Yeah.
Optimal thermometer temperature.
I bet I said thermometer too, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, thermometer. Thermostat.
All right. So again, we're back in Trash Panda Central. For our audio listeners checking us out on Monday, if it's past Monday, you're late. We are live again, so that's why we're here in Trash Panda Central. Jake B is a child. He likes 69. Good. Very good. Tori is correct. She likes 68. Alex Gorman sleeps way too hot. 71 is too hot. Can't do it.
Okay.
68 in the summer. But we're live again, and we have a very special guest. Let me introduce him how I would if we were on a normal show. Weiss is in at 72. 68 all year round for Bailey. All right, focus.
Lock in, brother.
A very special guest. A man that we grew up with. We went to high school with. He was on the chat last week, and he is a very good friend of ours. He is me and my mom's guitar teacher. He is many other people's guitar teacher. He studied music in school at San Diego State and perhaps other places. And he's just an all-around radical guy. So I give you Sir Nicholas Hein.
Well, hey there, friends.
Hey, dude. So now that we got the formal introduction out of the way, how you doing today, brother?
Another day above ground, living, LIVIN, brother. Feeling good. I've been excited about today. I think this title is pretty great. Key to happiness.
Mhm.
I'm no expert, but I'd love to speak with the people about things that work for me when I'm at my happiest and I feel like I'm at my best, and we can kind of just get together, share our stories, and hopefully leave the conversation feeling a little bit better about this thing called life.
I love that, dude.
Yes.
I love that, dude. So why don't you jump in and just kind of give us a little backstory, man? Where were you born? Well, shit like that, man.
Well, long story short, I was born in Arlington Hospital, Virginia. No, I really was. And then
Were you?
moved up-
In Virginia?
Yeah, I was born in
Oh.
Virginia.
We're learning.
Arlington. Yeah.
This is my friend. I've known him my whole life. Wait, what the fuck did you just say?
And we didn't go to high school with him at all. We went to separate schools.
No, we didn't.
the first thing I say.
But it was Rock Nation. We were losing brain cells together at Gorman's house.
Yeah. So some of you might know me as Nitty Beats, the one making the beats that the Hen Lobster was freestyling on back in the day.
These are simple.
Yeah. Parents not in the CIA. Even though if they were, I probably wouldn't tell you anyway. But no,
Kill you.
my dad actually worked for like teachers union. He went from the National Teachers Union in DC to the California Teachers Union, and I'm now a music teacher. So I'm pretty passionate about education. And moved out to Sacramento when I was like 4 or 5. So I'm pretty much a California kid. Love Northern California. Went to school in San Diego. And now I moved into San Francisco, which is kind of a crazy place to live, but it's pretty dope. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't in Virginia in 1860, so I can't speak on Charlie Rock's comment.
People that come in here just to troll, we love you.
It was great.
I knew radio host Charlie once I saw him was gonna have some fucking things. This is his element, right? Like he would have been.
We're gonna have to have Charlie on for the live show.
Yeah, we will. So we moved to Sacramento, and now we're out in San Francisco. You're a music teacher, so you teaching in the school system, or are you like working at a music shop? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, so essentially in San Diego. After post-college, I was playing in bands, which is like, super privileged to be able to do that. But I'm already going to jump in because they say like, love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. Mm-hmm. I think the person that said that really loved accounting. Like being a musician and like, it's, the whole like, oh, if it's easy, everyone would do it, but like being an artist or being a musician, like, look, I know I'm not roofing in Arizona in July, like, they're harder jobs, obviously, but it's like when you love what you do, it's still work, and you gotta make compromises in it. And I'm like, I kind of got to the point where I'm like, look, I'm working all day, every day, have like all these different jobs, 1099s everywhere. I'm barely making rent. I need to like figure something out and like make a new move. And in San Diego, I didn't really see that next like step happening. I didn't know where that was going to come. And then a friend in San Francisco was like, I have a job for you in an apartment. If you want to stay at it, like make the move up here. I saw a lot of friends that moved to San Francisco and kind of made new like opportunities for themselves and kind of moved up. So
I was just laughing because you moved from like the 4th most expensive place in the world to like the number 1 most expensive place in the world. Talking about being a starving artist and you live in like the most primo real estate.
Yeah.
So are you saying, is this like an apartment manager job and so you get the apartment free? Is that what I'm understanding?
No. So my friend,
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, that would be a great job. I'd love to be like, property manager or something like that. But no, oh man. So do you want the whole backstory to this? Because it's actually kind of crazy. I think I'd like to share it with everybody. Yeah. Absolutely. So during COVID, I started, music stopped. So it was like I had been like, doing pretty well, playing gigs like 3 to sometimes like 5 days a week, teaching lessons all day, like working full time, playing shows at night. And then everything stopped, and I like wasn't able to work at all anymore. But I kept start once upon a time. But once upon a time. But I was playing at church. And so I was playing at this great church called Extreme Gospel Worship Center.
Okay.
Which is awesome. Yeah. And it was like, people speaking in tongues, and like the music was amazing. It was like full Southern Baptist, like,
yeah.
Like, and I didn't grow up really going to church. It was kind of like church was kind of, my mom's pretty much an atheist. So like, she was always like, oh, church is just people trying to sell you things, and it's just collecting money and evading taxes. I kind of had like a negative impression of church. And anytime I went with my friends, it was like a puppet show, and I was like, what's, your friends are like, you have to come to church with me. It's going to be great. And you go, and it's kind of like, I'm like, I don't know, this isn't really for me. But then I started playing music at the church, and I was like, this is dope. Like something is happening here. Like the music is amazing. Yeah. Totally opened my eyes with music. So I started playing at like Pentecostal, what's it called? Kojic, Church of God in Christ. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was like, it's gospel music. So it's like the best music. So all my gigs stopped, but then I still had this weekly gig of playing music at the church. And I was, Faith Plus One. Yeah, with my band. Exactly. But the music was amazing. And I started to like really listen to the stories and the history. And I was like, I'm like starting to kind of get into this guy, Jesus. I don't know, there might be something about it. Right. So like I was working at Guitar Center, and I like was doing online lessons through them, but then it was like I'm teaching them online, but they were taking all the like percentage of it. Oh. But it was like a sure thing. I like didn't want to leave a job like during COVID. I was like, I'm still like getting a little bit of work. Yeah. But I left that gig, and like immediately the next week a friend called me and was like, hey, I'm leaving my job as an elementary school music teacher. I think you'd be great. I'm going to recommend you for the position.
That was your new friend Jesus right there.
Yeah, Jesus.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude.
And it's like, people be like, oh, well, it's,
the God giver.
Not causality, but like the week before, like it was a sermon that gave me like the strength to kind of take the step of faith to like walk away from the job, because it was take your place at the throne, and like Jesus walking into the water and like healing the sick. Man, I don't remember the whole sermon, but it was enough to make me walk away from my job.
Baking soda, water. I don't know the recipe. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And then I got this job teaching elementary school music.
Hell yeah.
Which it just kind of like served up on a plate, and I kept doing private lessons. And I was teaching. I still am teaching Deb, Henry's mom, every week, and Henloke. Hope you're keeping up. I'd love to see you in lessons again. So then it's starting to be pretty cool. And then I was like, hey, this Jesus thing, this church thing is actually, there's something to it. I was never baptized, so I was like, hey, church, like dip me in that water. I want to get baptized. They're like, we're going to do it on Easter Sunday. Like Easter Sunday, we're going to give you a baptism.
Oh, damn. I don't know how church works, but that seems special.
So I wore the whole white robe, and I gave like a testimony, and it was like, it was awesome. And then after the church, I'm driving home, and I get a call, and it says, congratulations, Gorman. Yeah, Gorman just got baptized.
The Lord, baby, I'm telling you.
There's something to it, man.
Hey, you're talking to a staunch Catholic here, brother. You're preaching to the choir.
JP, everybody put the holy water in the chat. Put the holy water in the chat.
On the way home from the baptism, I get that call from my friend being like, hey, I miss you. I want you to move up to San Francisco. He had a job working for the city as like kind of a narc.
Oh, yeah?
So he would like essentially have like,
Hell yeah.
it's called the Entertainment Commission, and it'd be like for noise violations of venues.
Oh,
Like if they're like over the
much.
decibel level, like you go there and you're like, hey, you guys are too loud. Like we would, like, since they would come out before the cops would. He was like, it's a good job. It's like $70K a year. It's like a good paying job. But
Sure,
you
like-
like work on the weekends, but you'll meet like every venue owner in town, and it'll be like an in for the music scene. And he was moving out of his apartment, which was like the same price that I was paying in San Diego. So I was like, oh, that the apartment's doable. And I had enough online students that I was like, I can make it work. So I was like, it's a sign. Jesus, I got baptized and I got the offer. I'm gonna walk, walk through the desert. So made the move. That got me up here. Ended up like supposed to start the job in like July. Ended up there like the first day you're gonna work is gonna be New Year's Day. And I was like, that's a long time. And then I ended up like in the course of waiting for that job to start, like finding jobs and getting enough stuff. By the time that the job came, I was like, I don't even like want to give up my weekends anymore. So it ended up like the job even ended up falling through.
It worked out.
But it worked out. It got me up to the city. Anyway, that's the story about how I got from the second most expensive city in the state to the most expensive city in the state.
It, dude.
So just, it doesn't make that much sense, but like in the context of things, it was just,
God,
got to walk through the doors as they open type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to take a leap. I talk about that a lot, man. If you're not happy, like bust a move. You like it's up to you. No one else is going to do it for you.
That was it. And the truth is that like I wasn't happy, and I think a big part of it was like just not seeing that next step. Being like, I've been doing this. And the other thing was that while I was playing, since I would, had my 5 days a week working during the day full time, and then going to play shows at like 3 to 5 nights a week, I would just kind of like go. Like every weekend, every day, I was just like constantly working and hustling, and still like I had like 5 roommates. Like I was not making like,
shit.
I was like, I am not like,
living in
I'm
house.
in my 30s. I'm living in a crazy house. Like I can't even afford my own spot. I want to eventually have like kids and like a dog. Like I can't afford a dog right
the
now.
whole white picket fence.
Yeah, white picket fence, American dream. And I was like, that's not happening here. And some buddies, some of which you both know, were like I was playing in a band with in San Diego and moved to San Francisco, and now they're like working for big tech companies and driving Teslas. And we used to be like smoking weed and sleeping on the couch, and it was like they made the move up and then kind of like burst through. So and then obviously a lot has transpired since then. I don't know if you want me just to talk about.
No. Yeah, I think you pretty much summarized it pretty well. And for our audio listeners, when you hear the intro of our show,
I was just
and the exit,
the
extra, what the fuck, the outro. There we go, the extra. Yes, we make up terms here. The delicious bass line that you were hearing is coming from the guest on this show today. Nick Hein is no joke on the bass. He plays other instruments. He plays guitar and other things as well, right? I assume. Yeah.
Probably every fucking instrument by now.
Yeah.
I have a whole.
He's got a whole deal. I've seen him slap ukuleles. Look, he's got his bass right there with him.
The thumb.
But so he is the absolute fucking man. Now, it sounds like dude, is you had what Superboss likes to call an epiphany, to where like, because living that musician type of lifestyle, dude, like it's either you're going to make it or you're not, and you're going to end up holding on for dear life. And you're going to be the guy like with the fucking 80s haircut, like still wearing the jeans and still trying to pick up chicks while smoking cigs, like, at the town watering hole, and like listening to Def Leppard. Like it's not a good path. And so I'm super juiced that you saw it, you go, hey, I had my fun. I did this. I can still do what I love to do what I love to do, right? Like you still get to go and make music and play music and share your talents, but it has to be kind of on the back burner here. I'm not going to be, the end all be all, Ozzy Osbourne or something like that. And that's a terrible reference. You know what I'm saying?
No, but yeah, I mean, I wish I could be well.
Me too, dude.
Yeah. But so it'd be like a lot of the people that I would see that were like, I was doing the same gigs as, like, I was on the like second call for the guys that were like full-time musicians in San Diego. And I mean, a lot of them were kind of like me, where they have like a primary job that makes them the money, and then they kind of gig on the weekends. And then, it works for some people. A lot of people had like breadwinner partners, or like they were gigging so much that they were like missing their children's like life events, like children's graduations, because they had to like play a wedding, across town because it paid enough. And it was just like, I was like, oh, this is kind of the reality of it, of like the real musician is like, is that the life? Yeah, the Steel Panther life,
Well, I think you brought up an interesting point that I did kind of want to touch on, is where you said about like if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But it's interesting that something that you clearly do love kind of becomes a chore for you when it's so much fucking work just trying to keep your head above water and do everything you can to get the bills paid.
Yeah, it's like, and it's I don't know if there's an official term of like artist guilt, because it's kind of like, it's like, look, I have like no right to complain about anything, because I'm playing music, it's like, I'm like, people have really hard jobs, but I'm feeling these real feelings about like, I'm not, I am working. I'm working really hard, and I'm tired, and my body hurts, and my neck hurts, and I'm lugging gear around all the time, and I'm doing something that like I've spent hours and hours practicing and perfecting, and I am getting paid for it, which is like something to be hugely grateful for. Like, hey, I'm doing these gigs, and I'm doing it. It's great, but I'm like, is it ever going to be that thing that will really get me? It's like the whole like never work a day in your life. I'm like, man, I love what I'm doing, and it still feels like work. Like that's There's just a little bit of a misnomer there.
But it's not unlike any other small business owner, and like myself, where I'm like, I don't know where my next fucking paycheck's going to come from, which is like the most stressful thing in the world. When you don't have a regular, I go 40 hours a week to XYZ, like it's fucking stressful. Like I got to grind and hustle just to find another job so I can fucking pay my bills this month.
That's kind of scary.
Yes.
It's terrifying.
And there's also a lot of like kind of grass is greener thing. Like, so in the city, there's a venue down the street that I've been helping out at. That's like great. It's a really amazing community. It's called The Fate. And a lot of the people that started it are like, have been working in tech and like, have these like amazing tech jobs. And they're like, we wanted to start something real. And they started a music venue, and they kind of moved from like having a super stable like tech job that pays really well into something that is more high risk, because they were like, we want to be part of like contribute to the community, and the art in the city is like really suffering. And I'm like, bro, I'm trying to go the other way. Like, can we just trade gigs? Or I'm like, I want stability. Like I've been doing this whole like, getting paid by the hour. Like if I'm not feeling well, if I'm sick, if I'm under the weather, I can't work, like nope, nothing's happening. No money's coming in. There's no paid time off for like, when you're doing your own thing. So one of the reasons that we wanted to have you on the show is because ever since we've known you, I've always admired your temperament. You've always just been like, you always find Nick with a smile. It's always kind of like a can do, we'll figure it out type of attitude. It's always like, yeah, man, it's not that big of a deal, Well, all right, cool.
I don't think I've ever seen you mad personally. I'm sure you get mad once in a while, but I've never seen it. So I just kind of wanted to dig into that because I'm like, where does it come from? How do you maintain it? Do you ever like? Was there a spot where something happened where you were like feel like you morphed into this like person that you became, or boy, I couldn't have asked that any more weird of a fucking
No,
question.
no, I follow you. I know exactly what you're asking. It's great.
And do you ever get mad, Nick? We need to know.
Yes. You know, I'm a really chill guy, but then if you change lanes without using your signal,
Uh-oh. Found it. Found it.
so,
I'll be like, doggone it.
I'll be like, dang it, no, it's okay, go over.
Awesome.
Of course I get angry. A lot of times I get frustrated. Like a lot of times the anger is kind of more directed towards myself. Crypto, yeah, I wrote crypto. That's a whole other.
We're
maybe for
gonna
the end of
quit
the
our
stream,
jobs
yeah.
just do full crypto.
Yeah.
Crypto.
Sorry, what was it? Yeah, so I do get mad. A lot of times I get most of my anger is pointed towards myself. Like I get mad, I get angry at myself. Like it's like when things go wrong, I'm like, I didn't do the thing that would have made that not go wrong. You know?
Do you find that you do that even when that's not true, that it was out of your control and you still blame yourself?
Definitely for sure. Yeah, I think a lot of it is kind of, irrational. But yeah, I think, I read something. I took a class in college. It was philosophy, like Buddhist philosophy.
You didn't go to school,
but yeah, I read somewhere that anyway about like in Buddhism they have like the bodhisattva, which is like the embodiment of like essentially the Buddha, like the Buddha mindset, which is essentially the same thing as like Christ consciousness. Like it's just different language, but it's all pointing at the same stuff. And it was essentially like the role of like someone in a society is like if you see dissonance and disharmony to like create harmony in it. And I that always really spoke to me. Like as a musician, it's like, oh, you're not just like playing songs and making chords. It's like, if you see two people that are arguing and you feel like, oh, if I wonder if there was something that I could say or something that I could do or some gesture that I could do to like make them like make peace where there's war, or like where people aren't getting along, or like someone's body language is off, maybe like give them a smile, say something, be there for them. Like kind of how can we make the world like the immediate world around me where there's disharmony, like create harmony in it. And I think that really spoke to me, and I want to do that all the time. And sometimes when I can't do that, I get like upset. And
so
then
we call that codependence in recovery.
Yeah.
Not
and
codependence, but like they're so I think that's beautiful in a way, but I also think it's a little scary and makes sense why you'd be hard on yourself, because there's a lot of things that are out of your control, and if you're trying to control all these things, or if you think other people's happiness depends on you, like we mentioned Robin Williams, like you're setting yourself up for failure because you can't help and fix everybody, even though it'd be great to.
Yes, and that's a big part of the journey that I'm on, is more like setting healthy boundaries and like not being like that's not my thing, and kind of, but just having empathy and being kind. I talk about if it was easy, everyone would do it. Like kindness is probably on there. Let's say, actually, I pulled up a nice quote from a book that I really like. Yeah, attachment. Yes.
Awesome, with a good one. Important not to attach yourself to the results. That was something I learned from Brandy, who we had on here. And that I was thinking of this when you were saying this. I had the same thing happen. Or I was the same way, and I tried to fix a problem between two people, and both of them ended up mad at me. And I was like, fuck this. Like, what the fuck? I'm trying to help, and now both these people are mad at me, and I'm trying to fucking help them. And I told
Yeah.
somebody, and he said, we can only give of ourselves with no expectation of the result. If they don't
Yeah.
drink the water, if they don't take the advice, if they don't feel better, etc., blah, 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 you cannot attach yourself to the results. You can only do what you can, and they're going to do what they will with it, but you can't like involve your feelings in did it work or didn't it work. Like you tried and that's it.
Mhm.
Dude,
It's such good advice.
I think there's like something to like your musician brain that makes you that way. And let me tell you why that is. So like, you know how you mentioned like harmony and everything kind of being out of sync. Like, you know, if you ever come around, like you said, like everybody's just, if you were standing on stage and say you're the bass player and the two guitar players are playing fucking two things completely out of different key and the drummer's off fucking by fucking 4 counts and all this shit, like you want to come over there and be like, oh, hey buddy, I need you here and I need you here and
2,
and
3, 4.
there we go. Oh, there it is. Hey, and here I come. Bing, bing, bing. Hey, look,
Yeah.
problem solved, right?
Bong,
And
bing, bong, bong.
now we're all jamming to the same tune and everybody's having a good time. And so I can see how you can naturally take that model into your life, right? And be like, hey, well,
absolutely.
hey, here's some tension, here's some dysfunction here. Let me see if I can fix it. Now, I think there's a place for that. There is a place for that. The key, though, which what you were saying, is not getting upset if the result isn't the happy-go-lucky result that you're searching for the entire time, right? And that's kind of what Henry was talking about was, hey, no matter what, no matter if you do get him in sync, hey, maybe that asshole just wants to fucking shred a solo on his own piece and be a dickhead. You know what I mean? Like if I can put it in music terms, right? Like maybe he just he's Dave Mustaine, dude. Nobody likes him. So like he can go over there and be a dickhead, but you at least tried. And that's what, to me, that's what counts, right? Like, hey, I tried, right? And that's all right, but I'm not going to let it fucking, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah. I think I really like that. Not being attached to the results. That's huge.
We cut you off. You had a quote for us.
Oh, I got a quote
like 15 minutes ago.
from the Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama. I did.
Yeah, because you think you know the key to happiness. The Dalai Lama has a book that I think might be that same title, but it's been like years since I read it. It was like whatever, like 18 years ago. But I pulled up the quote, and it's the basic source of all happiness is a sense of kindness and warm-heartedness towards others.
Mm-hmm.
So he's actually saying that, like, and the way that I interpret that is that kindness is the meal. Oh, wait, yeah. Oh, kindness isn't the meal; it's the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like
so
that.
a lot of times it's like someone's angry, right? Like, oh, if I was just in a better place and I was happier, I could be more kind, right? But I'm not feeling happy, so I'm not going to be kind. But it's kind of like, oh, that's a little bit of actually like a backwards thinking. It's like, no, actually being kind to others like can create happiness within yourself, right? And there's a little bit of like kind of fake it till you make it, you know, and there's some like imposter syndrome type of stuff that I'd like to also kind of dive into. So like, I watched this great TED Talk from, I think I actually made it, Amy Cuddy. This was like 12 years ago. What do you think you can or you can't?
Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
I do want to say, though, before you
from within.
Before you go on to your next point, I think what we were talking about before the quote applies even more, or is still important with the quote that you said, which is you can be kind to others and they could say, hey, fuck you, bud. I don't care. But but that's no effect on me because I gave you my kindness and you didn't like it. That's okay. Like you don't have to like it. I did my part and I feel good because I was kind to you.
Yes. And that's 100% true. Like it works perfectly with that quote. Like the follow-up is, and don't be attached to the results. Like if you do the kind thing, like, you know, you should be like, oh, I feel good. I did the kind thing. And then if it doesn't work out and it's not received kindly, it's like, well, hey,
But let me tell you what,
I
if
did the
I do
kind
the
thing.
kind thing and let you in front of me, and you don't give me one of these, you don't give me one of these, I fucking wish I was so unkind to you. I fucking wish death upon your family. This is all I need. Lift two of them off the steering wheel. That's all I need. And I'm
It's
like,
so
fuck
quick.
you. I wish I never let you in. I act like I just fucking paved a roadway in gold for them.
Paid their mortgage for him and
Wait.
shit, dude.
When was the last time you guys drove around in San Francisco?
Well,
Long
dude,
time for me.
it's been a long time, dude.
It's a nightmare. It's essentially like every time I drive, it's like something might happen, right?
Dude,
or like
San
even
Francisco
walking,
is a war zone.
Oh,
crossing the street, someone like I'll be in the middle of this crosswalk, someone will just fly by, and I'll be like, "Urgh," and then they'll be like, "Sorry," I'm like, "Oh, you're good."
Yeah.
like it's really
Dude,
it's
I
just
swear.
immediately that.
If I'm like, you fucking piece of shit, and they go, my bad, I'm like, never mind, you're cool.
Yeah.
It's all good.
yep.
Not to mention half the streets in San Francisco are straight up and down like
Yeah.
this, and like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's a mess. But I think that's part of the reason why I love West Virginia so much is because people give you one of these just for passing on a street that's not very wide. Because you kind of almost every street you got to go around each other a little bit. Everybody gives you one of these. Two fingers are very satisfying. Charlie's much more so because they're about 3 inches longer than everyone else's.
Dude, you see pictures of old fucking Slender Man Charlie, dude. I didn't believe how tall that motherfucker was, and then I saw a picture of him one time, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! He's
is
huge,
a
and he's
large fella.
just a big Slim Jim,
Because
dude."
he is what's the word? He comes from kings. He's got king's blood in him, literally.
Yes.
So he's
he a Rockefeller? He's got the rock.
Dude, who knows?
no. All
Charlie
right,
Rockefeller.
let's get back on task here. What were
So yeah. Anyway, what I was about to say is that there's this kind of like, the fake it till you make it thing.
Oh yeah.
But there's actually been studies about like if you take the body position of like someone that's confident, like your body and brain will lower your cortisol levels and actually raise your testosterone level, which is like the biochemistry of like a confident person. If you have really high cortisol and really high testosterone, that's not
Not a good
the cortisol. That's like the
called
stressed
little man
out.
syndrome.
Yeah, it's like you want to fight everybody. Like that's not the positive thing, but like testosterone is positive and low cortisol levels is like low stress. But they've actually done studies that like if you're like this and you're making yourself small, they actually like raise your cortisol levels because this is like the body position of someone that's like, oh no, like I'm protecting myself. I don't want to get hit by something, right? That's like you make yourself small to like avoid danger, and your brain is still wired to like respond to your body. So there's a little bit of kind of like biohacking that I think kind of plays to the kind of broader picture of
I actually think that the fake it till you make it is an interesting subject because it's kind of controversial. Some people say, no, fuck that, don't fake it, blah, blah, blah. But I heard a quote, my sister told me a quote one time. I don't know who it's by. We're going to give my sister credit. It's, there's the rest of that quote, which is fake it till you make it, and everyone's faking it. And it's the truth. We all, nobody fucking knows what they're doing. Nobody's a professional anything. We're all just fucking figuring it out, right? And like, act as though, and you can like, another one from NAA is act your way into better thinking. So like, you might be thinking all the crazy shit and doing the bad things, but hey, let me do the next right thing, and then your brain like starts to come around, and like even I listen to a lot of podcasts or one of my favorite podcasts is Armchair Expert with Dak Shepard, and he has tons of like A-list celebrities, and one of the most comforting things is that everyone, the most famous like rich person is like, I'm waiting for somebody to take it all away and realize I'm just a normal dude, and like I'm not a very good actor, and like I'm small and ugly and da 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 da. Like everyone has imposter syndrome. Everyone. So it like we all are faking it. So just like do it. Act as though. Like my dad taught me walk in there like you own the place, and like you do, and like we used to do it at the club at Gold River. Like he'd be like, because we didn't want to pay, walk in there like you own the place, and I'd walk past like a fucking 8-year-old like this, and they wouldn't say shit to me. And like now that confidence got me in a lot of trouble in other places of my life, but
time and
like,
place.
I
Time and
totally
place, yeah.
believe that you can fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a couple of banger quotes leading up to this that I would like to share, and I have another one that plays into exactly what we were just talking about. Does gooning play into releasing cortisol? Dopamine. Well, so I mean,
What is
I don't
gooning?
know, I don't know if that was a troller question or if he's being
Probably.
serious, but well, like essentially, like instant gratification, which is like gooning, right? It's like you get like a dopamine drip, or like for me, like for a while I was vaping, like, and I could vape inside. I would be sitting right here and be like, and just like it's a constant dopamine hit, and like have like I'd be vaping with like a movie on the projector and then something on my phone, and I'm just like, I just need all the dopamine right now.
Yes.
But it's like I wanted to talk to you guys about this specifically and see if you have some insight on it, because it's like there's this concept of like what you're craving is not even what you actually want. Like the satisfaction and gratification of like a slow play, like something that you earned, like that real like the willpower, like the reward from like going to the store, finding a cool jacket and being like, I'm not gonna buy it, and be like, oh, I still have all that money, like I liked it or whatever, or like I don't know.
Dude, I have that feeling all the time, dude, because I go to the store and I don't buy shit all the time, dude. I'm the biggest tight ass in the world. You see a jacket, be like, man, I have all the money for this. I like this jacket, but you know what? I'm not buying that motherfucker, and it's fantastic, dude. It brings me tons of satisfaction.
Yeah, it's even more satisfying, but it's like I'm trying to find more words to. Like,
I got it right here. That. Look, so I'm gonna pretend I'm a what is Dax Shepard? What did he study in college? The study of humans, people. What's it called? Anthropology. Yep. So here's the thing. What I think you're talking about, how I could relate it. The old form, the dopamine, how fucking cavemen and ancient civilizations got it, is you had to go out, you had to fucking climb the mountains, you had to hike 17 miles, you had to stalk the fucking buffalo, and then you had to drag the motherfucker home. And the dopamine you get is because you fed your fucking family and you get to eat tonight. Now it's just bloop, pull up my phone and let me get this little dopamine. It's like it's not. That is not the same fucking level of reward, or the reward we're looking for, like what we were, what you get it.
You get it. There we go. Yeah, like what we were created to do, right? And that kind of goes back to that book, The Comfort Crisis, right? To where everything is so fucking easy for us now. There's not a challenge in sight. There's really not. I mean, yeah, there's people suffering. I mean, and Nick, you're in one of the epicenters. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of homeless people out there in San Francisco. Yeah. It's rough out there. But dude, I kind of get what you're saying in regards to the dopamine and cutting yourself off from it and enjoying the sort of suffering. Is that kind of what you're saying? You know what I mean? Because
it's like I think I'd take it more as like, okay, I love ice cream, right?
Okay.
I'm an adult. I can walk myself down to the corner store. I can buy a whole tub of ice cream. Mm-hmm. And I love ice cream. Ice cream's great. I feel like having ice cream. Why can't I have ice cream? And so I eat the entire gallon of ice cream, right? Because that's like what I wanted in that moment. And then I do it, and then I feel awful. I'm bloated. I have like a sugar rush and a sugar crash. And then I'm like, oh, well, the thing that I wanted that like I thought was supposed to make me feel good ended up making me feel really bad. It's like what I thought I wanted is not really what I wanted. But I had to like do this like overindulgent thing to like kind of realize that. But then guess what? Tomorrow I'm going to be like, ice cream again? Ice cream sounds kind of nice, right? So it's like
That's addiction in a nutshell, my man.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
the exact
exactly.
same. You have described addiction. What I want is for this fucking hole in my heart to be filled, and what I think will feel it is alcohol, heroin, crack, cocaine, whatever. And then you and then you get all hied up, and you're like, oh boy, and then you do something stupid, and then you wake up in the morning and go, man, that did not fill that hole, and I think I'll do it again. Yes, Tori, I used to do that with crack.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
100%, dude.
And you know the other thing that makes it really hard when coming off of that, like even Nick, like so say like you abstain from the ice cream, right? Like you may find yourself fucking actually being a little sad about that, right? Like you'd be sitting there and be like, oh dude, because guess what, man? You're not getting that fucking dopamine that we're talking about, right? Like in active addiction, our dopamine levels are so fucking high that once we take away that substance, it's so hard for us in the beginning to regulate those numbers back to normal fucking human numbers that, dude, people find that they're depressed, they're anxious, they're upset, they can't find joy in shit. And dude, it takes a long time to get those levels kind of fucking, leveled out. And I imagine you probably felt the same way, like you said, when you just quit vaping, right? Like I imagine you were probably a little depressed, a little anxious, a little on edge. You know what I mean? Not happy.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's just a fascinating like mentality and such a hard thing to cope with. But it is like, if we're having this conversation about kind of like depression and happiness, like so much happiness can come from the like, I didn't do the thing, but it's like, but it has to be coupled with like community and like the reward of it, like, okay, so Hen, how long have you been sober for?
Well, I've been in recovery for a while, but I've only been sober concurrently these days for about 60 days.
60 days? Good job, bro.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
Good job. Let's keep that going.
Yes.
All right.
You want my answer?
Yeah.
Let's hear
Oh,
it,
okay.
Garrett.
I will have 7 years on April 28th.
There's my cracker.
Congratulations, bro.
Oh, there's a swizzler. Flip it up, dude. There we go.
Ken says,
So-
have no expectations because the results will keep us from being in the present.
Ken, that's a heater, dude. That's a heater. I like that. I'm proud of you, Henry.
Is pleasure not just the absence of pain, or is it that we attribute pain or pleasure to specific stimuli based upon our conditioning by society? Totally.
That's a dope, deep question right there.
That is a serious question. That's an asserting question if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, that's good. Is pleasure the absence of pain?
So the other thing I was going to say, like we've talked about this before as well, and when we're talking about conditioning of society, no one is bored anymore. We're never, and from boredom comes like good things like creativity, and like when we take away Lyndon's iPad and we turn the TV off, she fucking cuts up all this paper and forms it into like a backpack for her stuffy and like makes little things. Like she built a whole store in here. Like, but as adults, we don't have the self-control, kind of what Nick was talking about, to put this little fucking piece of crack down and just focus on being like, just do something creative or do something fun, like that we have to like use our brain for. And I talked about it with Jesse the other day. Like if I'm in line and it's gonna be 3 seconds before someone talks to me, I pull my phone out. Like it's so bad, but we are totally conditioned to being stimulated at all time. And it's the vape, it's the phone, it's the TV. And like I even was like, I kind of talked about this, but I was like, I don't want Lyndon to be playing on her Switch and watching TV at the same time as I sit on my fucking phone and watch TV. Like, it's so much, dude. It's all just
like, what
too much.
What do we do, dude? Do we got to do a retreat out in the woods and just like butt stuff. That's one thing to do.
We gotta do butt
Is that the
stuff.
solution? Who knows?
Dude,
Uh
But,
oh,
like,
we're going down a rabbit hole. Charlie Rock might have to hit us with a theory.
That's funny. But like, do we have to like completely cut ourselves off from it and like retire out on the farm?
ideally, yes.
I think detoxes are good.
In some
Like
form.
little phone or technology detoxes, and that's what I talk about. I don't know if you can relate because you do it so fucking much that it's probably a different feeling for you. But for me, I love playing the guitar because I take I'm not on my phone. I'm not watching TV. I'm being creative. I'm doing something fun. I'm using my brain. I'm making cool sounds that I like. You know, like
Yeah.
but which is so fucking foreign these days of like doing anything that's not work or fucking staring at your phone or a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just using, your mind, your hands. It's all right here. Like you have the instrument, but it's like, no technology. Just being in the moment. It's tough. You know what I've been doing? I'm totally that guy.
Let me
Dude,
see.
I've been bird watching, bro.
Fucking bird watching.
I've been bird watching, bro. It's
Dude.
great. Dude, walking is free. There's birds everywhere. And you see one banger, dude. There's a few red-tailed hawks that are at the park down the street.
Yes, dude.
And I saw him and I was like, oh my God, it's a red-tailed hawk, whatever, right? And then I was walking and there was a squirrel in the tree and I was checking out the squirrel and a hawk came and tried to get it. It just missed it, but I saw it like flip over and do like a and I was like, I am sold. I am in, and I got binoculars for Christmas, which was great. I got like a little brochure of all the like local birds. Like just last week, I saw a goldfinch for the first time. I've never seen a goldfinch, but they're like solid yellow. It's like crazy to see.
Dude, I gotta tell the story. So Nick's stories on Instagram are one of the best things. It's always gold, and you gotta follow him on Instagram, Nitty Hein, I believe.
Yeah, Nitty Hein, yeah.
But one day he was like, he shared like a video about bird watching. He was like, I don't have shit to do. And then the next slide is like, look at this fucking bird. The next slide was like, check this fucking bird out. The next slide was like, hey, this shit's all right. And then like the next week I see him with binoculars and shit. So he is not kidding. And this is what we talk about, dude.
This is the power hobbies.
Fucking great. Hobbies, man. Do something.
That's
Get off your
sick,
phone.
dude.
Do something you enjoy. Get out in fucking nature. Get some sunlight. Smell the fucking fresh air. Like, that's fantastic, dude.
Dude, I gotta see a yellow finch, dude.
Yeah, they're sick, dude. Goldfinches. It's insane. They're striking.
Gold finches, dude. I haven't gone down the extreme rabbit hole of watching birds, but I do like to do that. That's almost like a form of meditation, bro. Like, watching nature. Like, I love. My mom has a fascination with hummingbirds, right? And so like she has hummingbird
got
feeders.
All the feeders,
yeah, and they all got names and shit. Like she's wild with it. But I love watching hummingbirds, right? Like you see them come in, they make their little noises. Like sometimes I'll go out in the morning and I'll drink my V8 and do my praying and shit, and there'll be a little hummingbird on the branch, dude, and it'll just be making its little hummingbird noises, dude. And I'm just like, oh, hell yeah, hummingbird, you just made my morning. You know what I mean? And it's those small things in life, like you finding the fucking golden finch, right? Like, you didn't even know that was going to bring you joy. And lo and behold, dude, there you go. You got a brand new hobby. You're going to see some cool shit. And I think
I've probably been around them before, but I was just like on my phone. I was doing this, but then like being outside and like listening, be like, oh, I hear a bird over there. Like, I'm going to stop and just like stare at this tree for a little bit. And then a bird pops out and it's like, oh.
Unplugging, bro.
As I've been telling everyone about this, they're like, apparently there's like a Shazam for birds, like an app.
Oh.
It's like it like hears the bird call and tells you what bird it is. And I was like, that is so cool, but that's also so not what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm not trying to get out in nature to be on my phone.
Yeah, let the technology figure it out for me.
Like I'm trying to unplug from it and not like download a new app for it or whatever.
We gotta highlight this. Charlie says, let's start our own community and do butt stuff.
I mean,
I think we're in.
I mean,
bird watching and butt stuff.
Try it out.
Hummingbirds are crazy.
They're insane.
Flap their wings at like 1,000 times a minute.
And
Dude.
well, I think they migrate all the way down to like Central California. Those little birds.
Yep.
All the way up the coast. It's
Yep.
insane.
Austin highlights a really good point here. He goes, I think it's just about balance for each individual. There's not one right answer or prescription. And I couldn't
That's
agree
100%.
more. For Nick, it's bird watching. For Hen, it's going to the gym and unwinding. For me, it's God knows what, it could be, fucking staring at a tree, trying not to fucking have an intrusive thought about hanging from it. Those are some of my hobbies. But it's it could be whatever it is. And I think it's really highlighting the power of hobbies, which was I'm glad that we got to, man, because playing music, looking at birds, unplugging from the phone, looking at the beauty that's all around us, man. Like that's what life's about, dude. It's not about this clout as we sit here on this fucking, this live podcast looking for clicks and staring at screens. But it's about going out and enjoying it, dude. It's about going out and enjoying it.
And that's the thing also is like, we live in a really exciting, cool time with social media and the internet and all this stuff. Like when it's used like responsibly and well, it can be amazing. Like the whole thing, I randomly, the algorithm started feeding me, like, I don't know, because I'm like a male in my mid 30s, started sending me like bird watching memes. And I was like, why am I getting this? Did I like a picture of a bird once, but I was like, I'm not doing anything today. Like I'm going to go out and do it, and it ended up working out well. And then similarly, talking about community, like if you have a niche interest, like I haven't even gone down this rabbit hole, but if I go on Reddit, like bird watchers, there's this probably this insane community. Yeah, Facebook groups, YouTube.
It'd be like, you saw a fucking goldfinch, brother?
Yeah.
No way.
Exactly. And so even like this community that we have here, like the Rude Dudes, right?
Yeah.
Like finding a community of like-minded people where you can just be yourself, and it's so important. It's such a big, like, and it's more, all the more possible now with our new technology and with the phones and with the apps and with the videos and internet.
It's true.
And we have the opportunity to kind of use the good side of it,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, obviously too much of it is bad. We're seeing, we don't even know how all of the craziness about it is going to play out. We're like living in an experiment right now.
It's true.
But we can still use it to do good and have it. Yeah.
Charlie says, I used to take my daughter out hunting, but we use cameras instead of guns.
It's dope.
That's a cool idea.
That's pretty cool.
That's actually really dope.
That's a good idea.
Your ass.
You know what? That's king blood shit, dude. I never would have thought of that. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, Hen, you got a question?
Well, the cool thing I was going to say too is I feel like, I don't know if this is true for you, but for me, previous versions of myself would have not told people that I like to bird watch. I would have been like embarrassed about it or something. But that's like, we talk about like, let your fucking freak flag fly. Wow, that was so hard to say. Your vibe attracts your tribe, man. Like the people who mind don't matter. The people who matter don't mind. And if people don't like it, they can fucking eat your whole booty hole.
Straight up.
And if you like that, let them know. Whatever. So, yeah, I feel like a big part of my journey has actually been like honesty, like brutal honesty. A lot of that is like with myself, but also with others. And it's funny how like well it usually lands. Like, in relationships, even in just like, hey, this is what came up for me, and just like, or even I messed up and I did something weird earlier today, or I made a mistake. Like, I feel like a lot of times I would older me or like younger me, but previous me, whatever.
Ooh, is younger you, older you?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's blunt.
Which timeline are we on? Yeah. That's funny. But that I would like, I don't know, I would like have little like white lies like about stories. If I was like, oh, if I did something that was actually my fault, I might leave out the part where it's clearly my fault what happened. Like I might leave that out. I'd be like, this dude was being an asshole to me, and it was like because it was my fault, but I'd leave that part out, right? But it's like that's not being fully honest. you know, and like telling the whole story, being honest, like this is what I like. I didn't like that. Has been really hard for me because I wasn't really raised that way. It's kind of like a big one for me would be like, okay, so say you're lucky enough to go over to a friend's house, right? And they're like, hey, you want anything to drink? We have orange juice and we have water, right? What do you want? And I would always be like, well, I'd actually want the orange juice, but I'd be like, oh, I'll have the water, because I didn't want to be like a bother. Yeah, I didn't want to be like, yeah, like, oh, I don't. It's almost like I don't even deserve the orange juice because that's expensive, and I don't want them to like waste their orange juice. There was like it's like there's like this like, oh, I'm being nice to them by like not like taking something from them, but like really I'm doing a disservice to myself and to them, because it's like they would be really happy to serve me some fresh orange juice. Like that would make them feel good. And now it's like everyone's losing, and I'm like, why wasn't I just honest? Like, you know, if someone's like, hey, do you have anything? I was like, if you have a LaCroix, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I do have it. And I'm like, oh, I actually asked for what I wanted. You know, I was honest about like,
dude.
And
we're the same.
I don't know why that's
person.
so hard.
That's such an interesting little random thing, because I would do the same thing, and then it reminds me of the thing I always say: avoiding the battle without causes a battle within. So I would go, yeah, water. And then in my head, I'd be like, fucking want some orange juice so bad. Why did you just say fucking orange juice, dude? That sounds fucking delicious, bro. You know you wanted the orange juice. Why didn't you say orange juice?
And then you're watching them drinking the orange juice, and you're like,
you know what? You know what the other perfect one is? The fucking barber. I used to go, yeah, looks good, and then go out to my truck and be like, fuck, this dude fucked up my head. No, sir. No, sir.
You're like,
I go,
can
nah,
you
bro, can you
finish
hit me
the
right
job,
here?
please?
And maybe this little guy right there, and you got to hit me right there, bro. Like, that, making yourself small for other people, and then being uncomfortable. Me and Cam talk about it. I got to live here. I got to go home with this guy going, dude, you wanted fucking orange juice, bro. Why didn't you just say orange juice? You could have had some delicious orange juice, and we're sitting here drinking some fucking shitty tap. Well, you know, like, yeah, man, it's. That's so fun. I relate to that so much.
Yeah,
dude, I think it just comes down to something that Hen and I kind of preach as well, and it's if I care about you, I owe you honesty. I owe you honesty. And it doesn't mean that it needs to come across in a harsh, hurtful way, right? Because sometimes the truth can hurt. But on the flip side, I owe that to you if I care about you, right? So like, dude, it's just about being who you really want to be on the inside. And I think you actually kind of inherently do some things that we do in recovery, right? Like you were looking at your part in some of those scenarios, you know what I mean? Be like, oh, well, he did this and yada, 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 and you're making up a story. And then like, lo and behold, you come back and you analyze the situation, you go, oh, well, that was actually me too. Here was my part in the piece. Because the thing that helps us, at least in recovery, or really helps me, is looking back and seeing that, right? Because we're never going to be perfect, bro. We're never going to be perfect. Like, you're going to go to a party and you're going to ask for fucking water, and you might have wanted an A&W root beer. And you're going to go home and you're going to be like, damn, dude, that fucking pissed me off. I'm mad. I now have a resentment towards myself. Like, fuck, what do I do here? Well, you look at your part, be like, well, hey, I was afraid to fucking tell the truth, and here's how I'm going to fix it, right? Here's what I'm going to do. Next time, I'm going to say, dude, give me the A&W, and if you got some vanilla ice cream, I'd like a float. And you know what I mean? Like,
and they're like, we ain't got no vanilla ice cream. And you're like, it'd be a lot cooler if you did. And then everyone laughs. And
everyone laughs. And you were honest. You were honest, right?
Dude, and then the other side of this is like, if somebody comes over and my wife baked cookies and I'm like, hey, do you want a cookie? And they go, no, I'm good. I'm like, you're a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, you will eat.
You're like,
my wife's
cookies aren't good enough for you?
Cookies, you cocksucker.
I will jam it down your throat, dude. It's either you eat the cookie or get the fuck out of my house, dude. There's no option here.
We got some activity going on here. Austin says he feels like his people-pleasing was never in service of pleasing others. It was me satisfying my own need to feel accepted, wanted, liked, not rejected.
Yep.
Hit that motherfucker on the head. That is kind of funny, isn't it? When you think about it, like people pleasing, you think you're trying. It sounds like you're trying to please the other people, but really, I mean, just what Austin said. I can't say it any better than that.
And then here we have
That's so true.
Ken coming in.
100%
Oh,
Austin.
we took Ken out. A person's words will only tell you what you want to hear. It's their actions that speak the truth. So watch and listen closely, but not with your ears. Now that's an interesting take, right? That's an interesting take because, dude, I have this conversation with people who talk to me about wanting to get sober, but they're not willing to actually do it. You know what I mean? And it's always the same sorry ass excuses why we can't get sober the same time over and over and over and over again. And I've now taken Ken's model, right? Like either do it or don't. And I'll be watching. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean I care less, but dude, are you gonna do it or are you not? And so I love that, dude. It's true. Watch, pay attention, be mindful.
The good news is that Hayden still has my Gatorade in his freezer, saving it for a rainy day.
Sounds like you better get your ass over there, Hoss.
If the storm gets any worse, brother, you will not go thirsty. You will be electrolyted.
Is it the light blue? Are you an Arctic blue Gatorade guy?
I am a purple Gatorade guy. Now,
Purple rain.
This is highly controversial. You guys might ban me. This might be like my Dots take. I'm a purple Gatorade Zero guy.
Holy shit.
We are a Gatorade Zero household. Okay. Cameron is in agony.
I appreciate you being honest, but you can just keep that to yourself.
And see, there you go. Nick, look. Truth. If I love you, I owe you the truth. Yeah,
purple
dude,
Gatorade Zero is absolute chronic, dude. I
gotta try it out. I'll give it a shot, man.
I gotta be honest with you guys.
Next time I'm craving a Gatorade, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Hen told me to give this a shot."
I gotta be honest with you guys. Like ever since I got sober, like I can't buy Gatorades anymore because I just literally just kept. It reminds me of fucking filling it with a fucking pint of vodka. The yellow lemon lime one, that was my shit, and it wasn't very yellow when I filled it up with vodka.
It's classic.
I can't do it. And if I come home with a Gatorade, like I know that if I set it on the counter, Ashley, even after all these years, is gonna come over and smell that motherfucker, dude. So like I have migrated to sparkling waters and that's where I stand. But yeah. Purple Gatorade Zero is fucking menace society shit, dude. And I'm thinking about actually quitting the pod, dude.
It's so good. It's so good. Charlie's a purple guy. I doubt he's a Zero.
That's great.
Austin is a citrus cooler.
Fuck is that, Austin?
He is furious that they pulled it from the shelves years ago. Okay, Charlie thinks I'm a psychopath.
Yes, exactly.
I think I remember this citrus cooler.
The orange one?
Aiden's a strawberry kiwi guy. I like that we're having a mad fucking. First of all, though, I do gotta say, if you say the flavors, oh yeah, Austin's on your team. All right, I've been banished. I drink Dots. I drink Dots and eat purple Gatorade Zero. Fuck my dick.
Dude, straight up.
Love that for you.
But also, if you know the names of the Gatorade, you're a psychopath. They're just colors. Okay, they're colors. If you ask me for like a fucking Gatorade by name, I'm not gonna buy it for you. You want orange or purple?
That's true.
But Glacier
I couldn't tell you what a citrus cooler is.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
remember Glacier Freeze, the white one?
Something else.
Iconic, dude.
Okay. Well, let's.
I like one of the things I love about like the bird watching stuff and music also is that like I kind of like anything that has like specific vocabulary and language.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know, like getting into clouds. Yeah, like cumulus clouds. You know, like I don't know. Like trees, like the different types of trees, different types of Gatorade, you name it.
Yeah. So, dude, what's keeping you balanced nowadays? Now you were mentioning that bird watching, an increased sense of spirituality. Have you found some solace in that? Has that made a positive change in your life?
Yeah, 100%. I think that there's it's really easy to feel like totally alone. Like even though we're like bombarded with like social media, and just the recognition that like we're part of something big here, like, and everybody's part of it. And you can find that through, you know, religion, spirituality, through different communities. You know, I think about all the different religions as like different fingers pointing at the moon. And a lot of people like focus on the finger, but it's like, no, dude, the moon. Like, look at that thing.
Love
Like,
that.
let's talk about the moon. Let's not. Everyone's like focused on, oh, that finger is better than that finger. It's like, no, like we're just trying to talk about, like, don't look at this, look at that. Like, look at what we're pointing at. So, yeah, I think being part of like, it's real easy to start to feel like nothing matters, and I can do whatever, and no one cares, and like, whatever, who cares, whatever. So any sort of like, it's something that lets you know that it does matter and people do care, and you're part of this big beautiful thing, right? Life. And it's hard and it's beautiful and it's tough and it's all the things. It's everything within, without. But yeah, however you can get to that point of like, yeah, this matters. It's important. Like taking care, and it starts with taking care of yourself, making sure that your cup is full, so that it can, and if it can overflow, and you can help other people. You know, we talked about people pleasing, where like I would tend to like to help, and this is something that I learned from seeing my mom do this nonstop, is that she would always overextend to herself to help out friends, and like, you know, her cup was, she was never filling up her own cup. And it was, you know, yeah, I think
I like that answer.
Do you think you learned like from her, you saw basically her, I don't want to say suffering, maybe it's a little extreme, but basically suffering of like not doing enough for herself and trying to do everything for everyone else, and how it kind of wore her out?
Yeah, I think, you know, in my situation, the way that I was raised, like my parents are divorced, but they're like, parents are great. You know, we were talking about faking it till you make it. You know, our parents were just doing the best they could while we were growing up, but definitely learned from the things that my parents did right, and equally learning from the things that my parents were doing wrong. You know, and as we grow up, we get to see like, oh, I have a different perspective on everything that was going on there. And yeah, I got to see, you know, ways that my dad, things that he said to my mom, that like when it was happening, I was just kind of like, I'm just a kid, ADD kid, I have no idea what's going on. I look back at it and I'm like, oh, that's not a really good thing to say to somebody. Yeah, exactly. So like our mistakes, our parents' mistakes, and even just people around us, to it's a real gift to be able to learn vicariously. That's like why the good storytelling is like so important, because you get to see like people make mistakes that you don't have to live through yourself. Because I'm such like a, I don't know that something's wrong. Like I feel like I learned every lesson the hard way, you know.
Randall Brown calls it collecting evidence.
Collecting evidence.
When someone else relapses, you don't have to relapse. You can say, "Hey, was it how was it? Was it better? Am I missing anything?" It's like, well, no, I fucking crashed my car and got fired from my job, and got this black eye because I cut somebody out the bar. Well, that doesn't sound very fun. I think I'll stay sober today.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, straight up. Well, I think that's great, dude. I think it's fantastic that you found your spiritual side, and that, you know, like you have that outlook of something bigger. You know, the programs tell us that, you know, you got to find a higher power, right? a higher power is going to get us through. And for some people, that's the doorknob, right? And everybody who's in this chat right now, who's in recovery, has heard that, God could be the door, God could be good orderly direction, yada, yada, yada. I think it's an interesting take saying like, like how all religions can come around, like they're pointing to the same direction. Right. And I forget what it was some sort of Catholic mystic, and he mentioned some shit like that. Like it's all these religions going towards the same goal. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's many different ways to get to God. And so I think that's great, dude. I think that's great because we all need a little bit of hope, and we all need to realize, that we all are, we're all one, right? And if we cared for each other and told each other the truth, like we talked about, with love and kindness, I think there'd be a little less suffering in the world.
Amen. Amen to that.
So I've been trying to figure out how we're going to ask him our 2 questions. How would we ask the first one, Cameron? Did you come up with a fun and exciting? Well, actually, let's make it this simple, man. What's your favorite part about life?
There you go.
Oh, wow. Banger of a question. Favorite part about life. Okay, so I think this says a lot about me, actually. I like that I am constantly surprised.
Dude, that's fantastic.
Like I playing music, like I love getting together with people and writing songs, but I also love that there's usually a little bit of like, we don't know what's going to happen. And like when that happens with like around people that you trust or whatever, like that little bit of like, I don't know what's going to happen today. Like there's always something new, right? Yeah. There's always something to scroll to in the feed, but like in real life, it's like, we don't know what's going to happen the next day. And I feel like there is always this kind of like excitement with a positive outlook of like, hey, there's the unknown. What's it going to be today? And sometimes it's like, well, it was just as shitty as it was yesterday. but usually, with especially with a good sense of humor, I think sense of humor is a huge part of just making it through life. But I actually like that there's always a surprise. There's always something new. I think my favorite part about life is that part. It might change tomorrow. My answer might change tomorrow, but that's what I'm feeling today.
You know what? I like that answer, dude. And for somebody with an anxiety disorder, I absolutely fucking hate it, dude. I wish I could have some certainty. All right, I need to know what the fuck is coming around that corner.
You made me uncomfortable just saying that.
Yeah. That's why I said it says a lot about me. Like I love that unknown. That excites me. That gets me like, what's gonna happen? Like I love that.
Yeah. Can we minimize the amount of surprises? And then I guess I ask our last one. And you know what, dude? You shared some revelations in here throughout your little story. What would you tell somebody who's suffering right now, whether that's mental, physical, spiritual? What would you tell them?
The way you feel now is not how you're going to feel forever.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think every time that I've been in like a really dark place, like struggling, like feeling like I'm all alone, and it feels like you're never going to get out of it, and you're just locked into this forever, right? But the way that you feel right now, it's not forever. It's just it's temporary. And we talk about like in happiness and fighting depression, it's all about kind of giving yourself a fighting chance, right? But you kind of check the boxes, right? It's like eat health. It's all that Jim Carrey quote, right?
Yeah.
It's like eat healthy, get good sleep, have your community, have a positive outlook. Like you do those things and you might feel like an imposter while you're going through that. You might feel like that's not your character and that's not the real thing. But if you stick with it and trust the process, how you feel.
You've survived 100% of your worst days so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta say, dude, I absolutely I haven't stroked you enough on that quote. I don't know who you got it from or something like that, but I love when you say
Let's
that
say
quote.
I made it up.
Yeah, you did, dude. I've always loved that quote from you. It gives me inspiration. So I just want to say thank you for bringing that up.
Well,
and Nitty, fantastic answer, by the way.
It is so fucking cool because it is 100%. It's not most, it's not some, it's not 75, 100 fucking percent. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, you've survived 100% of your day so far. And while we're stroking people, let's just stroke our fucking selves because what a great fucking question. Because what a great fucking answer. We always get the best fucking answers to that question. It's such a good question. Ah!
We really do, dude. And you know what, man? The reason I love that quote from you, dude, is because, dude, on one of my anxiety forums that I'm in, it's you've survived every panic attack up until this one. So it helps me realize that when I'm super hyper anxious, that there's nothing really different here. It's just the same. It's just the same thing, right? And I'm gonna get through this one just like I got through every other one. And so I take it on a deeper mental level. But yeah, dude, fucking. I mean, you couldn't have answered it any better, dude. We should put you in the rooms. You can stand up there, slap the bass, say, "Hey, dude, this isn't gonna last forever, dude." And then we're good, man.
I should make that in a song. That's great.
I'm not stroking you at all anymore, Charlie. No more strokes for you, dude. We already gave you fucking what, God blood or some shit, like King's blood earlier. I mean, we told you you're a good father for fucking taking pictures of bucks and shit. Like you've got enough today, dude. Austin's been sounding.
Shout out everybody in the chat, man. Put some fucking clapping hands or some eggplant emojis, some holy water, or if you want to call it cum, because we're stroking. Everybody put splash emojis in the chat. We're stroking everybody off. We love you guys. This was a little chaotic. This is our first time doing a live with a guest, so we will get better. You know, it's very hard to stay focused and try to run a show while people are commenting and saying all kinds of funny shit. But we absolutely loved having you guys. So everybody who stuck around, we appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. It does mean a lot to see, you know, the people showing up and getting involved, and that's why we're doing it. So, if you're listening on the audio side, here's another invitation. We'll be doing more of these lives, so you're gonna have to follow us on all of our platforms so that you know when this is going to be happening.
Particularly YouTube.
Yes,
Go
and
subscribe.
And please hit the subscribe button. That really goes a long way.
Fucking buttons. Like, subscribe, rate us, comment, share, send it to a friend, tell your mother.
It don't cost you nothing.
It doesn't cost you anything.
Nothing, dude.
So Nick, are you still doing lessons? Is that something that you are still shilling?
I am, yeah. Mainly guitar, bass, ukulele. I do online lessons if anyone's interested.
And where can they reach you?
Feel free to hit me up. Well, Instagram. The Instagrams is probably my most active. It's Nitty Hein, NITTYHEIN. Okay. Hit me up if you want some lessons or you just want a friend.
No, Tori, it's only gay if you come. She said it's only gay if you look down, Charlie.
Dude.
Yeah. So, if you need a friend or you want,
and also follow his Instagram
bird watching videos.
Riveting bird watching story.
Yeah,
exactly, dude. Well, dude, I thank you for coming on. I thank you for being transparent, and I thank you for always being such a good friend, dude. You've always been just such a real person, dude. I didn't get a chance to stroke you in the beginning, so I'll do it now. You've always just been a warm, bright soul, dude, and you've always just been a great friend. And every time I see you, and it's been a very long time now, but every time I've seen you or I see you, it's been a nice warm embrace, dude, and it's always felt sincere. And so you always have a special place in my heart. And so thank you for being you, bro. And if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out to me personally. And hey, maybe we'll go to church together, dude. Hey, how's that sound?
I love that. Thank you. Thanks, Cam Bam. I've always loved you.
An NPC.
I'm actually not real. This is the only time you ever see me. I'm actually an AI robot, dude.
I don't think an AI robot can scream like that. We should do play some metal together, dude.
Dude, I still got it.
I remember you got the voice, dude.
Yeah, I still got it, dude.
The other thing I would be remiss if I didn't mention is that half of my brain cells were lost at Alan Gorman's house.
They really were lost.
The other half were lost with Nick Hein in San Diego. The other best times of my life when I lived in Long Beach and rode down to see old Nitty, it would get wild.
You had the Cutlass, right? When did you take the Cutlass down?
Yeah,
Chevelle, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Dude, the Chevelle. Nothing being the outs in the Chevelle, dude. New episode name Finding Joy in the Golden Finch, dude. That's gonna be the name.
Ken coming out back with the Gatorades.
Ken, we're way off the Gatorades, dude.
Fucking shit.
Come on, Ken.
White cherry.
Okay. Goldfinches and Gatorades. That could be a good one.
That's a good one.
But,
all right.
Cam, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate all the love. And yeah, I want to, I'm going to be tuning into the Rude Dude Pod more. I've been slacking. I've watched some videos. I've been watching some clips. I followed the podcast when it first came out.
You should have told us that.
I can do more. So, I'm going to be on there.
Well, I appreciate it.
Henry, I love you, man. Forever. I love to make some music, man.
Yeah, we got to get back on some lessons.
Get you freestyling, man. Yeah. Everyone in the chat has heard Henry rap, right?
No, I don't think a lot of West Virginia people even know that I rap.
Bro.
Yeah, they don't know that I'm really like that.
Yeah, you really like that, dude.
I'm really like that.
He's with the sauce, dude. Oh, Austin's heard it.
Oh, I did make a song for Jacob's Ladder, but that was a mere taste.
Just a sample, dude. Just a sample.
Now, Austin is a fucking master drummer.
Yeah, Captain Paradiddles, dude.
Captain Paradiddle in the building. So there's your metal band drummer right there. Uh-oh. Gorman's back. King Louie with a quote. Yeah. Like, people don't know. My homies know all the words to my songs and shit. They sing it to this day. If JB was in here, he'd be all over.
I often refer to a liquor store as an LIQ because of a Henlock line.
Dude.
If I can remember it. And then I'm about to hit the LIQ to get some Cheetos, some Pop-Tarts, some Butterfingers, some burritos. See the purples? Yes, I see those. And then that makes me happy. Get that other shit out. If it ain't Cali, then it's crappy. I like my weed sappy, sticky to the touch. So when I roll it up,
it twists so nicely in the Dutch.
Oh,
I'm spicy with the hush. What was that song called? That was a weed song.
I don't know, but it was fucking
Nosebleed.
Nosebleed.
Cocaine, but it was about weed.
Dude,
so high.
That's fantastic.
Thank you, Charlie. We love you, brother.
Thanks for coming, everybody. All right, let's wrap this shit up.
We gotta get out of here.
All right, Hen, do you have anything you want to say before I give him the spiel?
Hit the goddamn buttons. Oh, you're doing the spiel.
Okay. Hey, we've said it already in here. Hit the buttons. It costs nothing. It's real easy. Just hit follow, hit share, hit like, hit subscribe. Let's say that one more time. Hit follow, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. Preferably
take our logo to your tattoo artist, put it on your ass.
That's right. Buy some merch, say hi, show up to the next live stream, do whatever you want. Oh, one more development before we say something here. A Canadian has fucking reached out to us.
Canada.
A Canadian has reached out.
Canada.
We did it. A Canadian has reached out.
If you're listening, shout out Kai.
A Canadian reached out.
Hit us up. And actually, she reached out in like fucking May. And it was in our garbage inbox on Messenger. And I never saw it. And I was like, hey, I hope you're like still okay and still sober and stuff. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you messaged me today because I was having a rough day. So super sick. So shout out Kai. Thank you for being from Canada and saying what's up like none of the other Canadians.
Yeah, and we know you guys are listening, so be like Kai.
Wait, we have one more thing that I gotta.
Oh,
this is the chair I'm rocking. So I sent Cameron a picture of when I did the shoulder lean too hard the other day.
It was only a matter of time, dude. It was
blasted my chair out, dude.
It was only a matter of time, dude. It was only a matter of time.
I feel like this is good for my posture, though.
It is,
dude.
This
This started when you said your mom wanted fucking
John Travolta's
John
dong, dude.
Travolta shaft.
Yeah.
That put me on the way lean back, and it never was the same since.
All right, dude. Let's get the fuck out of here. I'm hungry.
We love you all.
What do you got to say, brother? We got to do our outro, Hoss.
You started.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Remember, 92
Jesus.
episodes, dude.
Holy shit, dude. The share through me.
Squirrel!
All right.
Come on, Trash Panda.
I will finish this like I always do. I love you, Hen. I love you, Nitty, and I love everybody who showed up. Thanks for being a part of the Rude Gang, dude. You guys are the fucking real ones.
I love you too, Cam. And remember, if you like to fucking bird watch, then fucking bird watch. Because be yourself and fuck what they think.
Find that goldfinch, motherfucker. Later, dude. Peace out, dudes. We love you all.